what is this again? Streamer nearly beat a man to death. What is happening? What is with people being beat to death on stream? Like, what is this? What is this? Guys, we truly, dude, this is depraved. Like, we just live in,
what an unbelievably crazy.
We live in a fucking depraved society now. This is bad. This is like twice in like 1 month. Penguin Zero video. Streamer nearly beat a man to death on stream.
Crazy week on Kick. I was just talking about the French streamer Jean Parmenov who passed away in his sleep on stream after a marathon of abuse from some other streamers. This literally just happened. And just now, I literally just finished streaming Resident Evil 6, and I was taking a little tinkle, and I got sent a little something that is so diabolical, I had to hop back in the saddle and yap about it. It is incomprehensible that yet another potential death was just streamed on Kick. I'm recording this an hour after it happened, and the victim is currently still in the ICU, so...
Well, what happened?
I guess by the time I post this, I'll know whether or not they passed away, but I'm gonna keep this...
You know, I used to think back in the day, like you guys ever think this? Like, you think about the ancient times, and you're like, dude, the Colosseum, they used to just freaking, like, people would just get dismembered and, like, beheaded and, like, whatever. Like, they'd sick lions on people, and then they'd have, like unarmed dude versus lion, and like all the people in the crowd would be cheering, like eating their fucking grapes and shit, right? And like you think about it and you're like, man, that is so crazy. Like, there's like, I can't even imagine the society that does that. Well, you don't have to fucking imagine it anymore.
Part in here right
We're
now.
We're right back to the Coliseum era.
A Kick streamer, Raja Jackson, who is the son of Rampage Jackson and also a professional fighter, just went fucking ballistic on a wrestler during a wrestling event on stream. He picks the wrestler up, slams him on the mat, and then lays down 27 punches to the man's skull, most of which were delivered while he was unconscious. And by the end of it, he is bleeding and bloodied. They couldn't wake him up. They said he was barely breathing, and someone even used the word flatlined, that he was flatlined in the ring. This is not fake. This is not scripted.
Wait, what is this? This was a hold on, wait, what was this? This was just like a fight? Like a what do you call it? MMA or something? Wait, what is this? This WWE wrestling? Wait, but wrestling is like scripted though. It's not real. Like, wrestling is like fucking ballet for men. Like, what do you mean? God, this, like, what is this? Hold on. We're just gonna lower the audio a bit. What? Wait, what just happened? Okay, hold on. Oh, no, watch this from the beginning. Okay, so they're having the match. This guy, who is this guy? Is this guy like a part of it? Is he like one of the wrestlers? Wait, so these guys are clearly, hold on, these guys are clearly playing around. Like, look at this. Ignore the guy that like went into the ring, but if you look at this attack thing here, that's not real. That's like a wrestling thing. You know what I mean? That's totally a wrestling maneuver. It's like not real. Like, if you look at the way he hits him here, like, come on, that's not, if you're trying to hurt somebody, that's not how you do it. That's some choreographed shit, which is like cool and all. Like honestly, I have no problem with wrestling. I think it's kind of cool, right? But they're not actually trying to kill each other, right? Like that's like a clearly like a, and look at that reaction there is so scripted. So this guy just like walks into the ring, like, who is this guy? And then he's just like, what is going on? Oh, he hit the back of his head. Look, if you look what happened here, the centrifugal force, he like slams him so hard, he lands on his head. And if you think about the centrifugal force of like being like flipped like that, his head had high velocity coming around, right? Even if the rest of his body, even if the slam isn't like that crazy. Like, if you look at the slam, right? Like, it doesn't seem like it's like that bad, but look at his head. The velocity on his head, like hitting the mat back there, boom, it like his head bounced off. So he's like probably unconscious there already. They stopped him. This shit just got real. Okay. Sorry, the audio was really loud, so it's kind of like...
Censor this, it is brutal. It is extremely hard to watch. I also cut the clip short, but they pan back and he is covered in blood. Raja Jackson is a professional fighter who has unloaded, I counted 27 blows to an unconscious man. And they all are connecting. This is not like fake. It's not like he's pulling any of his punches.
The reason we're not watching the Asman clip is because it's not censored. That's the reason why, by the way. It's you know, it's YouTube and Twitch and stuff.
They are all hitting.
Like, the truth is, guys, I'm not Asmongold. Like if they come after me for something like that, I'm like more likely to get blown up. That's just the truth. I'm just being real.
Squarely on this man's skull, bouncing his head off of the mat. And I said most of them were when he was unconscious. All of them are while he's unconscious. When I watched it back, it's clear that when he slammed him on the mat, his head hit the mat and it knocked him out immediately. So all 27, potentially more, punches that he threw were on an unconscious man. That can be fatal. That is most oftentimes fatal. And
yeah.
He wasn't done either. It's not like he just stopped and said, okay, well, that's plenty. I've had my fill. He was still going. He
was going so hard that they tried to pull him off, and he still kept going. There was like that one wrestler who tried to pull him off, and he wouldn't stop.
The only reason there weren't more punches thrown by him is because the other wrestlers were able to separate him. But he was fighting against them to go back.
Dude, this seems. You know what this seems like, guys? This seems like a murder. Like, am I just being wrong? Like, does it make sense to you guys? Like, it seems like it's a murder. It seems like this guy like wanted to kill that guy and just thought this would be like a, I don't know, he thought in his retardation that it was like some kind of you know, that he'd be able to hide it or something. Like that's what it seems like to me.
Beating this
because like nobody who is of their right mind, I don't think a reasonable person would do this. Basically, is what I'm saying. Like, or even a reasonable person who's like, you know, into like the wrestling Kayfabe, or even like a fighter, like an MMA fighter. I don't think a reasonable person would do this.
Unconscious man. He probably wouldn't have stopped punching him until his head popped like a balloon.
He might have been turbo drugged. Yeah, well, that's not society's problem. That's his problem.
Balloon. It's extremely scary, and even if he does pull through, this could have life-changing repercussions with brain damage and so many other complications for the rest of his life, if he even survives, which we don't know yet. He apparently flatlined in the ring and is currently still in the ICU, and we don't have any updates. This is terrifying stuff. Hello, it's Charles, first thing in the morning here.
Wait, what happened, dude? He get fucking tranked? Like, what just happened? He got hit by a tranquilizer dart, like fucking in the cartoon.
This is terrifying stuff. Hello, it's Charles, first thing in the morning here, and we don't have a ton of official updates on the condition of that wrestler, but the father of Raja Jackson, Rampage Jackson, gave an update where he is saying that Syko Stu, that's the name of the wrestler, is alive and is stable. And he also says that he's clearing up misinformation about his son. But then in his statement, he doesn't clear up any misinformation. He just confirms what everyone already knows, that this was completely out of control, inexcusable behavior that Rampage Jackson also doesn't condone. So I don't know what misinformation he thinks he's clearing up with this. He's just agreeing with what everyone else is saying.
Wait, who is this? This is the son of who? This is the father. Wait, this is the father of the guy who beat the other guy?
Misinformation he thinks he...
Okay, moments before Smith Master Raja was told he could get his payback in the ring. What?
He's clearing up with this. He's just agreeing with what everyone else is saying, that his son went fucking berserk. I guess maybe the misinformation demon that he was exercising here was about his son actually getting like the permission for payback on Syko Stu for an earlier confrontation. And what he's referring to there is they had like a little beef before the event started, and someone had told Raja Jackson that he could like double leg take down Syko Stu in the ring and then throw like a fake punch, and that would be it to like settle the beef and create this storyline.
But that's like one thing that they do a lot in wrestling, is that they'll kind of hype up like beef between people, because it kind of creates drama, and it creates villains and heroes, which is like kind of the whole point of like of this kind of wrestling. It's more like a story. It's like watching, you know, heroes and villains fight it out. Like it's like those stage shows basically, you know, like for kids when they have like freaking like, you know, like Power Rangers stage shows, like that basically.
But Raja Jackson on stream, on camera, create like this storyline.
Yeah, and that's fine, right? That's fine to have like a sort of back and forth. But this is like Syko, like actually trying to kill somebody. That's like a whole different thing. That's not really.
But Raja Jackson on stream, on camera, says that he is going to hurt Syko Stu. He said he will not stop punching him until people will yank him off of him. So he took that like pseudo invite, like green light to be involved in the wrestling event, as a permission slip to go brutally assault this man and beat him within an inch of his life. Like, I think you could also make a case that this is attempted murder. This was premeditated assault that he planned on not stopping at any point until third parties intervened.
Yeah. Like, the thing is like you could like throw fake punches, right? Like even if you wanted to be like, okay, well, I want this visual, right? I want this visual where, like, I get on top of them, and then I just punch the fuck out of them. I just go, like, you know, full on Luffy Gatling on this guy, right? And then they're gonna be like, bro, that's fucked up. And then they're gonna, like, hold me back, and then be like, bro, get off of me, right? And, like he could, like, fake punch, right? Like, it would, like, kind of have the same effect, right? Of, like, yeah, you know, like, that's what you get, right? And it would have been the same thing. It had, like, the same effect. He didn't have to actually punch him. Right? Yeah, he didn't have to actually punch him.
I really think you could make like a real argument that he had went in there with the full intentions of killing Syko Stu.
That's You do like another thing. Okay, I don't want to admit this, but I used to be a theater kid. I don't want to admit that, but you know, I've done theater. But anyway, what they would do is they would punch. But then they would put like their hand on you. So they put their hand on you, right? And then they punch. But what happens is while they're punching, they like kind of open their palm, and the palm hits the hand. So like imagine this for a second. Like they're grabbing like your face, right? Like you grab them by the face with your left hand. Then with your right hand, you do a punch, but then your palm is open and you basically clap your other hand. So it sounds like this. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Did you guys hear that? It just sounds like basically like that, right? And it looks like a punch. So you like punch them to the side, you whiff the punch, but you hit your hand. Does that make sense? Right? It's like that's why like a lot of the times in like those like kind of stage shows and stuff, they'll grab a person by the shoulder. They'll grab their shoulder and then pull them into themselves, and then they will like kind of bring their hand up at the same time and punch not really punch, but clap their hand with their other hand. But if you do it fast enough, it looks like a punch basically, and it makes the sound of like you just clocked somebody, and then the other person obviously is playing along, and they'd be like, ugh, right, like that. Yeah,
looks like to me.
Tell you guys this, they told me to hit him and just leave. Somebody who pulled me off of him will leave. I'm telling you, I'm gonna hit him as many times as I can. Watch.
That's into
me to hit him and just leave.
Go Stu. That's what it looks like
let's see it
to
here.
me.
Tell you guys this, they told me to hit him and just leave. Somebody who pulled me off of him will leave. I'm telling you, I'm gonna hit him as many times as I can. Watch.
That's indefensible. You can see him literally planning it off the back of them giving him like the instructions for a work where he'd come in and he'd deliver like a hit, like a fake hit, and then he'd be pulled off and that'd be the end of it. And he is saying, but watch this, I'm going to keep punching him.
Yep.
Like he is blatantly stating this. It is very clearly a premeditated assault. And like I said, I really think his goal was to kill Syko Stu there. It really seems like that was his mission. And you can't chalk this up to confusion where he was directed to do something but then just went a little far, like, mistakenly. He is, with his own voice, his own vocal folds, flapping with their own volition here. He is stating, they told me...
You for the iPod, thank you so much. Thank you for the sub. Thank you.
Vocal folds flapping with their own volition here. He is stating, they told me to do this, but instead, I'm going to do this. I'm going to punch him as many times as I possibly can. He is stating clearly that they told him one thing, and he is not doing that. Instead,
again, none of this had to, like, he could have done the, if he wanted the effect, if this was all in good fun, this wasn't an actual, like, revenge thing, then he could have just fake punched him.
He is going to punch the shit out of him, beat him within an inch of his life. You can't possibly say that he just got confused with the stage directions here of the storyline. He is saying that he is going to go punch him as many times as possible and disregard what they said he is permitted to do,
that is
like
some
what
savage
they
shit,
planned
honestly.
on. It is premeditated assault by every possible definition. Now, what started all of this, and I've seen people joking about it like, oh, haha, Raja Jackson must not know that wrestling is fake, and he thought the heel was being mean to his favorite babyface, so he took matters into his own hands, tee-hee-hee. But what actually happened is Raja Jackson was touring the event and meeting the wrestlers backstage, and of course the wrestlers are all playing characters, and when it comes to wrestling, there's a little something called Kayfabe. And so they are going to portray their character to the best of their ability and keep everything as authentic and genuine as possible. And Syko Stu was in character and misunderstood that Raja Jackson was...
Yeah, anytime you know, I'm not gonna go there, never mind.
not a worker in the event.
Worry about him.
Syko Stu.
Worried about Syko Stu.
Syko Stu?
What, you don't know me?
Hell no.
I'll say, like, yeah, anytime another content creator pisses me off or another, another VTuber, and I call him a bitch, it's all kayfabe, It's just kayfabe. Thanks for the follow. Thank you for the follow, Apple. Thank you.
Hey, hey, I think that's a little... Oh, you don't... Hey, hey, I think that's a little... Oh, you don't...
Wait, what just happened?
I think that's a little... Oh, you don't...
Oh, he hit him with a beer can?
Hey,
Hey, what happened? Wait, did he actually hit him?
You don't know me?
Hell no. Yeah.
A prop can.
Hey, I think that's a little... Oh, you don't... Easy. He's not a fucking worker, bro. Calm down.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
You're good.
What the fuck was that?
You don't sell it? Dude, he's not a fucking worker, bro.
What the fuck was that? Hold on. I don't play that shit, bro.
Oh, sorry.
Nah, I will fuck him
we're
up,
good.
bro.
I know you will. We're good.
And he takes it way too far when he takes a beer can. I don't know if it's like a real beer can or like one of those breakaway like stunt ones, but he takes it and he crushes it on Raja Jackson's head. Then you can see him get really fired up about it, and all the other wrestlers are also saying to Syko Stu, like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? He's not like a worker here or anything. That was too far. And that's what started this. And then Raja Jackson waited until...
So wait, he wasn't even supposed to be in the event? So Raja wasn't even in the event. He was a spectator. He was just there to watch, basically. But then Syko did the thing, and so there was a misunderstanding. He thought he was like a worker, and they were telling him like, "Yo, he's not on the clock or anything. He's just here to just." I see. So he thought he was in character, basically.
Their match, then he stormed in and then beat him potentially to death for it. Now, I think if Raja Jackson had swung on Syko Stu after the beer can thing, you could definitely make a strong case that he was acting in self-defense. Because that is unexpected, it was unprovoked, and it was kind of a crazy thing for Syko Stu to do, not knowing for sure if Raja Jackson...
But like even then though, like even then if he like crushed a beer can on your head, and then he like backed off already, and he was just like, yeah, what a bitch, right? Even if he did that, like that's not really self-defense, to be honest. Like it would only be self-defense if like he basically continued to attack, right? Like if he was like still like pressing like other things on you, then it would be self-defense. If he like did that and then backed off, it's not really self-defense.
Was a worker in the event or not. It was a bad judgment call for sure.
No. What I'm saying like is in that immediate instant, if like he did the same thing in that immediate instant, it still wouldn't be self-defense. I don't think that would pass.
And he was just like way too fucking committed to being the heel. Like he was really deep into his method acting, like fucking Shia LaBeouf style, and he did the beer can thing, and it was definitely over the line. But here's something a lot of people aren't showing enough of, that Syko Stu was very apologetic when he learned that Raja Jackson was not a worker at the event. He apologized 3 times. They shook hands multiple times, and Raja said, like, hey, it's good, I get it. Multiple times. Meanwhile, he was just like bubbling with anger, waiting for his chance to fucking assault this man.
So fucking seal that.
I'm
sorry, bro. Hey, it's gonna all work out.
Yeah, hello.
Wah, wah.
I appreciate it.
I didn't know.
There it is. It's because he saw the camera, that's why. Because there was a camera there. So he assumed that, like, yo, this is, like, on stage. This is, like, live, right? Like, someone's gonna post this video. So he was like, okay, gonna, like, you know, gonna show him up, right? Because, like, you know, that's how, like, these characters are, right? All of these characters are very, like, boastful about, like, how fucking cool they are, right? And that's kind of that's the appeal to it, right?
I get it. We're not working out. Well, he's gonna come out on your mat, Juice. I know you keep thinking we're working. We're always working.
I get it. Yeah. I get it now. Now you know what I'm saying?
And it does make sense too for him to be like, okay, yo, like you got your moment on film. Now let me get my moment on film, right? Because he got his moment on film by like smashing the beer can on him, right? And he's like, yeah, like what up, right? And then like it makes sense to be like, okay, like all right, can I get my moment now? Can I like, you know, can I interrupt the match and then like, you know, just fuck you up a bit, right? Like that makes sense, right? Like I think that makes total sense to be like, yeah, sure, you know, like yeah,
right? We're always working.
What a fucking worm.
Yeah,
this is
nasty.
some slimy behavior here. This is some turbo ass.
He seemed like a pretty good sport about it too, like the guy who fucked up.
Raja Jackson is now pretending that he understands and forgives Syko Stu, who is very apologetic, mind you, and he's explaining, like, look, I saw the cameras, I thought that this was, like, another work, that we were building a storyline, this and that, and Raja Jackson's like, no, I get it, and he's, like, shaking his hand and everything.
His chat antagonized him, like, because he got the beer can smashed on him, yeah, and then he gets his moment. He comes in, you know, like, oh, like, he came in there, and he's like, oh, he's punching the crap out of him, right? But, like, not jokingly, but, like, you know, obviously for stage. No, like, actually try to kill him, you know what I mean? Like, dude, what is this fucking savage brain, like, shit? Like, I don't understand. Like, how do you go from, like, yeah, you know, we're just playing pretend to, like, yeah, I'm actually gonna, like, literally try to kill him. Like, what the fuck?
Meanwhile, he is actively planning of assaulting this man, beating him unconscious and fucking leaving him eating meals through a straw, as he is, like, pretending to let bygones be bygones here and that they're on good terms. That's fucking unhinged. Now, before showing you some more of the aftermath here, let me introduce you to Syko Stu. I think you should get a little bit of the lore behind this wrestler that Raja Jackson beat so severely, hospitalizing in the ICU, and apparently caused to flatline in the ring.
Pro in 2009. I had just got out of the military, probably about 6 months earlier. I got out of the military, I joined Knox Pro, you know, because I needed something to focus on. I needed something to help me adjust back into civilian life. You know, a lot of veterans, it's hard for them to readjust into civilian life coming from the life of the military. I'm an American soldier that suffers from PTSD. Being in front of a crowd, it doesn't give me as much anxiety and aggression as I thought it would.
Yeah. Syko Stu is a veteran who was suffering from PTSD and found wrestling as a means of escapism and fell in love with the sport. And now is currently hospitalized in the ICU, but apparently is stable, so hopefully Rampage Jackson is accurate with that claim that he is alive and stable. Yeah. That would be wonderful news. But what an unbelievable set of circumstances that led to his hospitalization here. yes, he made a mistake with Rampage Jackson's son here, not knowing whether or not he was a worker and still building the storyline anyway under the impression he was. But it's not a mistake that should have led to something like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when he did everything.
Yeah, especially when he said sorry like so many times. Like what
his power to try and rectify it and try and apologize for his mistake and explain why it happened and ensure that it was totally unintentional and there wasn't meant to be any bad blood or anything. And he thought that he did accomplish that, but clearly Raja Jackson didn't actually think so. He was just acting. Raja Jackson was flexing his thespian skills here when he was pretending that everything was okay between those two, because what he was actually doing was plotting a premeditated assault on Syko Stu. Again, that potential argument of self-defense, that has poofed away like Timmy Turner's fairy godparents.
There's no world.
That shit sailed a long time ago because he didn't act in response to the threat. Like, after the beer can was crushed on his head, which, again, he wasn't expecting, and that can be dangerous, but he didn't, like, act in the heat of the moment to defend himself from that or anything. Instead, he let it marinate, let his rage bubble up, and then waited for his opportunity to get revenge later.
Yeah, self-defense only works in the case of immediate threat when you think that your life is in danger. That's the only time that you can take, like, active self-defense measures in terms of lethal force.
There is no longer
that's obviously lethal force what he did, and it doesn't apply in the future, basically. And I don't even think, like, that's what I was saying earlier, is I don't even think that would apply with the beer can. I don't think that would even constitute like a self-defense scenario, a lethal force self-defense scenario. Even in that case, I don't think would hold up.
Possible case of self-defense here. Like, yes, he was wronged, but he didn't like try and defend himself from that threat or anything. He pretended to like move on from it with the guy who did it, and then waited to attack him later. And I think you can make a very strong.
Julio says it would because he was aggressive in this space. No, because of self-defense. The lethal self-defense is for self-protection. I mean, I could go over it again here. So like if you go back and you watch the clip again, right? Like I'll show you what I mean by it's not self-defense scenario. Okay?
Yeah. Hey, I think that's a little.
So like that moment, he could have taken action. At that moment, if he took a lethal self-defense action there, that makes sense. But here,
you don't
see how he backed up here? He's backing away.
Easy. He's not a fucking worker, bro.
He's backing away, and he's the one advancing in this case. See, if you look here, he's the one pushing here. He's pushing forward aggressively here. It's no longer a self-defense scenario. It was only a self-defense scenario.
Hey, I think that's
right here. That was the only point in which it was a self-defense, a lethal self-defense scenario you could have taken here. Up to that moment. Once this happened, it's no longer self-defense. Like legally speaking, right? Like.
And I think you can make a very strong case that it was attempted.
No, I'm assuming the by what Julio was saying, I'm saying like assuming that he believed that the beer can was real and it actually was an attack. We're under the assumption that that would be the case in the calculation of it being a self-defense scenario.
At the very least, it is a premeditated assault, and based on the things he was saying leading up to it, and based on the behavior in the ring when he was delivering 27-ish blows to an unconscious man's skull, I really think there is a strong argument to be made that he was in there doing that solely to try and kill him. All of this on stream, mind you, and you can even see him respond to the news that the guy that he just unloaded 27 punches on in the ring while he was unconscious is potentially flatlined.
Hello?
Hey, where the hell are you at? I told you to double leg that motherfucker and start welding him. I just saw the video.
Shit pissed me off though, Andre.
I understand that.
This guy's fucked. This guy is so fucked. Dude, this guy is so cooked in court. If the other guy takes this to court, it's over, dude. In fact, I don't even think the other guy has to take it to court. I think that a prosecutor can like easily like be like, yeah, this is fucked up. A prosecutor can solo like take this and like without even the other guy's permission. A prosecutor can just step in and be like, yeah, I'm gonna prosecute this case. It would be honestly, if you were a prosecutor and you wanted to like get another case, like another free case under your belt, this is free, basically. This guy's so cooked. There's no way.
But now they can't wake the nigga up. He's fucking
Like, look at this guy. What is
in the ring, fucking flatline, bro.
My
You
bad.
didn't have to do all that shit. I understand y'all had heat. You didn't have to.
Dude, this guy's mental. What the hell? This guy's mental.
I'll call you back later.
This guy does
He's
not.
like walking around like,
Not seem to care at all. This is a fucking monster right here.
dude is like walking around like a freaking wild animal, dude. Yeah, exactly. Like, have you seen like those freaking like videos with like tigers, like pissed off tigers? That's literally what this guy looks like.
In response
Fucking pacing around like yeah. What the
to
fuck?
hearing that the guy flatlined, he just says, "My bad." That's crazy. Kratos had more empathy for the people that he killed in very similar fashion, by the way, with like the unbelievable amount of blows to the head. But at least in Kratos' case, the people he was fighting, they were at least conscious. All of these were delivered to an unconscious man. A man who never even saw this coming, by the way, because he storms into the ring, grabs him, and then slams him. So it wasn't even a fight. But he walks away feeling so fucking tough and accomplished about it, with no remorse at all for potentially killing this man.
Tired of motherfuckers playing with me, bro. Real shit. One of them a bitch and fucking bit me. I'm tired of everybody fucking playing with me and shit. Think I'm always playing and shit. Call me bitch and shit. Not no fucking bitch, bro. At the end of the day, I'ma stand up for my fucking self because I'm tired of everybody fucking playing with me, bro. Real shit.
He's walking
Dude, this guy is fucking, dude, this guy, like any sort of like logic and reason has left the building. Like, this guy is fucking
away from this with his chin held high,
Unhinged.
extremely proud of what's unfolded here. It seems like this might be the happiest moment of his life. The way that he is perceiving this is him standing up for himself. He is not able to have a grasp on the severity of what just happened here.
Brother Sam, thank you so much for the bits. When he goes to court, I hope someone says, and here comes the steel chair. Oh my god.
He thinks that because the disrespect that he encountered earlier in the day,
deranged,
he was
yeah.
entirely justified to potentially murder this man. And by the way, the
The thing is, though, the perceived disrespect was in character, wrestling in character, the wrestling culture in character thing. And when the guy realized his mistake, he said sorry. To like still enact a lethal level of revenge is mental. That is like beyond.
wrestlers that were calling him a bitch, well, I imagine they were saying that because he
No, you know, he's a bitch now. He's like even more of a bitch, honestly, for what he did. Freaking sucker, like going in there, sucker punching the guy, and then like just wailing on him while he was, because he wasn't even like, he didn't even know there was a fight. It came out of nowhere. This guy tried to beat the shit out of him, like a physical fight, when he wasn't even an active participant. Absolute sucker punch bitch maneuver, honestly.
basically sucker punched this guy potentially to death.
Yeah, fucking RuPaul super bitch.
The guy never even had a chance to fight back because he came into the ring when his back was turned, slammed him down, immediately knocking him unconscious. It wasn't even a fight, it was a surprise attack. So I imagine that's what he's referencing when it comes to the wrestlers like insulting him.
Thanks for the
and the
bits,
one that bit
Gabagool.
him, with everyone that was like getting on top of Raja to get him away from Syko Stu on the ground because he was still.
This is why the shooting stats looked. I don't think it has anything to do with race. I'm just being real. I know people are gonna try to turn this into a race angle. I don't think it's a race thing. I think this guy's just unhinged. You can maybe say that there's like something with culture, like you know you could say that maybe like the culture he was raised in is not good, but it has nothing to do with race. Honestly, this guy is just it does like anybody could do this. Basically, anybody could be an unhinged, like depraved lunatic.
Going
Has
back
nothing to
to
do
try
with it.
and make sure he was dead, it seems. Now, in the rest of the clip here, one of the wrestlers from
Culture and race are heavily entwined. Well, in the sense that being a certain race increases the chances of you growing up in a certain culture, yes. But that doesn't mean that all people of that race have that sort of culture. And I think that's the thing that we have to be careful of. Because it really, they're not the same thing. They're not. And even, it's like I said, right? It's the same thing. Like you're making the same mistake. You're making the same mistake basically that the leftists are making when they're saying things like, oh, them going after Mexicans with ICE is racist. It's literally the same thing. It's like, no, it's because their culture is, it's not their culture. It's because the reason why ICE is going after Mexicans is because most of the Mexicans are, most of the illegals are Mexican, and that's the reason why, right? It's the same thing, and it's the same thing in this case. It doesn't mean that all Mexicans are illegal, right? So, like, don't make that same mistake that the leftists are making. That's what I'm saying.
From the event starts walking towards them, talking to them, trying to get them to stay, probably until police get there would be my guess. But he is talking to them and he is shit talking, trying to goad him into staying.
Then what causes 13% to commit 60%? It's like I said, it's because a lot of the bad culture comes from that community. That's why. A lot of the bad culture and like a lot of like kind of the culture of non-responsibility comes from that community, and that's why. But that doesn't mean that everyone from that community exhibits that trait. That doesn't mean that the reason why this happened is because of his skin color. That doesn't make any sense. Right? Like, would Morgan Freeman do that? Obviously not. Right? Like this is ridiculous. Like, to even like would Larry Elder do that? Obviously not. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the culture that they're raised in, the level of accountability that they're subjected to, and other factors of education. All of these things matter. Education, as in, like, they're brought up, like, you know, they're brought up like properly, like to have, like, you know, a proper level of decorum. Like, all of that matters, and it's not inherently tied to skin color. It's just the culture that surrounds it, basically, right?
And he's like talking about, like, I'll fight you right now, and then it's a back and forth. But Raja Jackson reiterates that he wants to,
like, basically in this case saying, like, oh, well, you know, black people commit this amount of crimes. That has nothing to do with this case, basically, is my point. It's like, it doesn't make any sense.
Fight more of them there. He wants to continue to beat people within an inch of...
Theodium says it's the ghetto mentality. Yeah, it's the culture I was talking about, right? But, I mean, let's be real. It's not only black people in that culture. It's predominantly black, obviously. But then there's, like, there's other people also that take place in the same culture. There's white people that take place in the same culture, that take part in the same culture. Asians, Latin people, they all take place in the same culture. I've seen it. I've seen ghetto Asians, guys.
Their life there. It's scary. I cannot imagine a world where he does not go to jail for this. I really can't.
Thanks for the bits, Brick Muppet. The biggest predicator of asshattery is not having a father. Yeah, probably. Not having a stable home is a big factor, big contributing factor to it, right? It's a compounding factor, right? Like, you have that, and then you have, like, an economic, like, issue, and then you have the culture, the lack of a father, and then but this guy obviously has a father, so, like, that doesn't make sense, right? This guy had a dad, so obviously it's not that in this specific case, right? They're all compounding factors that increase the odds of a person being, like, unhinged, basically, right? Which is why I advocate for having good culture. That's why I said that, like, you know, more kids should be looking up to people like Luffy, and you know, Luffy, and more girls should be looking up to Pretty Cure, because I think it, like, has a better culture than, you know, looking up to, I don't know, whatever rap star or whatever pop star, right? I think that the pop star rap star thing is, like, it's bad culture. And it leads kids in bad directions, in my opinion. And that's kind of what my point is about culture.
Rampage Jackson has tons and tons of money, sure, but I don't know if he's going to be able to outspend the attempted murder charges that his son just racked up here. Now, of course, I'm not a lawyer, and I don't have, like, a magic crystal ball that I can ponder the orb of to see the future.
Real Gerald says rap is also garbage. I mean, it depends. It depends. Right? Like, not all rap is garbage. Like, there's some that's, like, there's some good rap, right? It just depends what it's about. That's kind of what I mean, is, like, you know, let's not make the mistake that leftists make in saying that, like, all people of this category are this, right? Because that's what they do, right? That's literally what they do. They're like, oh, like, you're white? Well, you're fucking evil. They're literally doing that. Like, let's not be retarded like them, right? Let's not be like, they're being retarded, so, like, you know what? I'm gonna be retarded too. Like, let's not do that. That's dumb. I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to save you from your own retardation.
Future, but my guess would be that there will be attempted murder charges for this incident. Because, I mean, I really think it's, like, it feels like that's what the goal here was when Raja Jackson was delivering these blows. I mean, I think at bare minimum, you're getting some serious...
I do have one caveat I gotta say, though. That doesn't mean that the statistics don't exist. Obviously, the statistics exist, and you can look at the statistics and say there is a problem in this community. And that problem needs to be solved. That's how you fix things. You don't fix things by saying, like, oh, all the people, like, the people in this community are predominantly this color, so it must be that color that's the problem. That's how you don't solve the problem.
Serious assault charges.
That's how you give them what they want. That's how you give the leftist people what they want, and that's how you justify their counter retardation, right? So it's like this. They start the retardation, and then if you take the bait and you participate in that retardation, now you have a retard versus retard battle. And that doesn't create good culture.
Like, no matter what, I think he should be thrown in the slammer for this. This behavior is completely unacceptable. He knew exactly what he was doing. He even on stream states what he's about to do. And he clearly...
Yeah, I'm obviously against people that say, like, well, you can't say that statistic, that's racist. Well, no. The statistic is a statistic. It has nothing to do with race. It's something that we have to look at and be like, why is this problem being caused, and why is it predominantly in this community? What are the factors that lead to that, right?
Doesn't stop until he is pulled off and then still wants to keep going. All of these blows delivered to an unconscious man. How could you possibly say this is anything other than him trying to kill him? It's fucking sickening. Now, like I said at the start of the video, I've recorded all of this pretty much immediately after it happened, so we still don't know how Syko Stu is doing, if he's going to pull through from all of this or not. But by the time I post this video, I imagine we'll have some kind of update. So I'll go ahead and put that at the beginning of the video. But as of right now, fingers crossed that he pulls through. Like, yeah, he definitely did make a big mistake with the beer can thing, but I don't think it's something that should have cost him his life here in this manner. This shit is unhinged. Anyway, that's really about it. See ya.
I really like that video. That was a good one. This is a good, interesting case, honestly. Like, and I think this guy's fucking cooked. Like, if this actually goes to court, this guy's done.